close the windows?
No, this is fine. Okay, we're live. Hello. Just gonna give it a few moments for people to join. So just waiting. Hello, Laura. Welcome. Just want to get everybody into the space here. Hello, Andrea. Those of you who are just joining, I'm going to invite you to get comfortable and grab some pillows, blankets, whatever it is that you need to do, and just make sure that you are in a nice, quiet, cozy, relaxed, private environment for this, okay? So that you won't be disturbed. This is not going to be one of my master classes that I do, so I'm not going to be teaching through this. I want to dive in as soon as possible, so I just want to give it a few minutes, about 2-3 minutes for, yes, you can put that on. I got the whole family in here. I got Leo in here, and I got Jeffrey in here joining us. So this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for us to come all together. So hello, Alfonso. Hello, Andrea. Welcome, guys. Hello, Scott. Melissa, welcome. So good to have you here, seeing so many familiar faces. Yeah, I'm gonna have the recording there afterwards, but sometimes if you can be here live for the full thing, I really encourage that because we're gonna be here as a community. Hello, Deborah, so good to have you here. So if you're just tuning in, thank you for saying hi. It's always nice to see who's here and to know that I'm not talking just to a screen. Get a pillow, blankets, get yourself nice and comfortable, private environment. Hello, Kim, welcome, welcome. And I'm gonna encourage, I didn't say this in my original post yesterday when I, invited you all into this, but grab a pen and paper because there may be an opportunity for you to take some notes down of some of the insights that you may be receiving from our time together. And I'm not entirely sure how long we're going to be going for. I know that everybody's schedules are different and you've got lots of responsibilities. I'll leave the replay up. If you can stay for the whole thing, I would really, really honor that and encourage you to do that. And the reason being is if you cut yourself off midway in this experience, you're disconnecting from the container that I'm creating for all of us and that we're holding for each other. Hi, Marilena. Hi, Bonnie. Welcome, welcome. So, if you know that you only have like 5 or 10 minutes on here, I would encourage you to come back for the replay when you can do this for yourself and you can stay for the entire duration versus having to skip off. These kinds of processes are a little longer because we're going and we're excavating into the depths of your being. So I want to create space for you to be with what may come up for you during this time. And that could be some emotion, it could be some discomfort, it may not be those things, but I want to leave some space and some silence as a part of this process so that you have the ability to really go inward and not feel rushed. So Tristan, hey Tristan, good to have you here. I'm so glad you guys are here. 1:45, yeah, I'm hoping to be around 30 minutes to 45 minutes maximum. I could always make these things longer, but I think you should be okay. So if you're just coming in, guys, again, pillows, comfy environment. If you want to lie down, you can, but if you're feeling really tired, I'm going to encourage you to sit up in this process, either in a nice comfortable chair, or allow yourself to be on your couch or on the edge of your bed. But I want you to be comfortable. If you need your meditation cushion, do that. Grab blankets, you might get cold. Oh, Jeffrey just signed in and he's sitting right here, and so I could hear myself. I'm like, why am I hearing myself? Hey, Lindsay, so glad that you're here. And grab a pen and paper, guys, if you need that, and Kleenex if you don't have it nearby. Oh, it's my pleasure, Tristan. Allison, oh my God, there's so many wonderful people here. Alona, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so we're gonna talk a lot about grief in this particular meditation. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of those 5 stages. I'm looking at the 5 stages, which was, I believe Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was the original therapist who created these 5 stages of grief. And acceptance is actually the 5th stage of this process. Now, before I, went and looked a little bit more in depth in her process, this was a download that I got very clearly. I got the message on Sunday that this was a process that it was time to take more people through. And I've been going through it a lot myself over the last several weeks. And I've been staying in deep connection with a lot of friends and family members. And I feel like we're all traversing this journey of grieving and coming into another level of acceptance, another layer of acceptance. And grief is an interesting thing because everybody experiences it differently. And so my version of grief might be extremely different from your version of grief, but it doesn't mean that one is right, one is wrong. There's no such thing as that. And grief and these 5 stages, which I'll name in just a moment, they are not always happening in the particular order that I'm sharing it from. So the point of today is to have you have the space and have the space held by somebody. I feel like when somebody holds space, a coach, that I'm working with, one of my healers, when they're holding space for me to be able to experience and go deeper in myself, there's something about having somebody else lead me and guide me through that versus me doing it on my own, which I can do and I have been doing, but it's nice to have a safe space and container in community where we know that we're all in this energy and in this process together, and that we're not alone going through this. Because you know what? Right now, a lot of people are isolated and feeling alone, and we're really in an uncharted and unknown territory. We've never been through this in the course of most of our lifetimes. So it's an unusual and of course unprecedented time. I don't need to, reiterate that. I'm sure you're all aware of it. And we need to have space held for what we're experiencing, and it changes on a daily basis. So this is why I wanted to create this with all of you today and gift this opportunity for you to be held by me. I've been holding my clients, I've been holding, people around me, and I've also been held. And it's a symbiotic relationship that we have with holding space for one another right now. And believe me, the deeper you can go within yourself and to feel the emotions that are present, be it the grief or anything else that's coming up for me, the deeper you go, the more capacity you have to hold love and compassion and kindness and all these wonderful, beautiful feelings for others, support for others. So we expand our capacity the deeper we are within ourselves for others. So this is a real opportunity to expand your love and care and holding for yourself and for your loved ones and for the world. So there's so many beautiful faces on here joining me. Thank you for being here. Okay, so grab your pillows, blankets if you're just joining, get comfy. If you're in a chair, place your feet flat on the floor now. Try not to have your legs crossed or your ankles crossed or your feet. You want all the energy in your bodies and your chakras and your meridians through this process to be flowing. And you don't want to obstruct any energy or emotions that might be sitting in your body right now in this process, okay? So when you're ready, you can start to close your eyes. I want to invite you to begin to bring your attention inward now. And again, if you could have to hop off in like 5 or 10 minutes, this is going to be a longer process. I'm going to invite you to come back for the replay. This may go on for about 30 minutes. 40 minutes. I don't want to rush us through this process. So if you've got to skedaddle and you got something else to go to soon, come back later. I will make sure that this is up on my wall and available for you. If you're new to this process with me, I'm Vanessa Petronelli, and I've been a life coach, spiritual teacher, intuitive guide channel for 11 and a half years professionally. So I've taken hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people through all kinds of processes like this in groups and individual private one-to-one work. So I love doing guided processes. They're extremely powerful and potent, and I hope that my intention for you in this is to get closer to yourselves today and to move yourselves through the stages of grief with compassion, with love, and with kindness for yourselves. All right, so the 5 stages of grief, with your eyes closed, just start to take some breaths, deep breaths in and out through your nose. The first stage is denial, and I'm not going to go into depth and explanation of all of this. I'm going to invite you to do some of your own research just for time's sake, okay? The second stage is anger. The third stage is bargaining. The fourth stage is depression. And the fifth stage is acceptance. So those are the 5 stages. There are other teachers and experts who've said there's also 7 stages. So this is the 5 stages that I'm focusing on and intending to hold for all of you in this particular meditation experience today. So I always love to start my meditations with one of my bowls. If you've ever been to any of my channeling events or retreats or, workshops that I've done, I tend to use my bowl. And this is just to clear out your energy and to get your mind and your being present. So if you haven't already closed your eyes, please do so. And I'm going to begin our process now. Drink all of that in. And just allowing your palms to be turned up or down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And this is about bringing comfort to your body, allowing it to be supported, allowing it to feel held. Just giving it this moment to pause, to reset, and to receive. So as you're bringing your inward attention toward your body now, start to focus on your breath. As you inhale, allow your belly and your chest to fill all the way up to the top. Really fill it all up. Exhale, open your mouth, a nice, loud, audible sigh. This is so cleansing for your nervous system and your brain. Again, inhaling, filling all the way up. Hold at the top. Fill and saturate the lungs, and exhale, nice, audible, loud sigh. Two more like that in your own time. Inhaling. Exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Now bring your breath back to your normal breathing. Inhaling slowly through the nose, exhaling out through the nose. And with each breath now, I want to invite you to give permission to your body and to your mind to relax. Anything that you have going on today, later in the day, what you were doing prior to this process that I'm taking you through, just trust that everything will be waiting for you on the other side of this. If there's any clients or customers, any work you need to do, children, whatever it is, just put everything to the side for a moment and just allow yourself to be, to become present to your breath, present to the beating of your heart, present to the walls that surround you and the floor beneath you, present to the roof over your head. And just in this moment, let your body and your nervous system know that you are safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. It is safe for me to go deeper into my body and to unplug from the mass consciousness, to unplug from my life, and to plug back into my source. So if you are comfortable and this is part of your practice, you may begin to call in your higher self, your I am presence, God, Goddess, universe, source, creator. You can begin to call in any angels or archangels, any ascended masters, any elementals, any spirit guides, anyone that you particularly work with in your practices, and just bringing them in, filling up your space with their light, with their love, with their protection. If you do not practice this, that is okay. Just being with your breath and your body in this moment is more than enough. And as you're connecting to your spirit self, to your energy, to your body, this is a moment for you to get clear on your intention. And anybody who's worked with me or is familiar with my work knows that I'm all about creating intentions for the experience you wish to have, creating intentions for what you'd like to feel at the end of this process. So this is an opportunity just silently to create an intention for yourself. And your intention could just be, my intention is just to simply be. My intention is just to simply hold myself with everything that I'm experiencing with unconditional love. Whatever intention you create is perfect, but make sure that it's aligned for you. So I'm going to give you a moment just to sit with that. And when you have that intention, you can state it silently or state it out loud, declaring it for your universe to respond and hold you in that frequency of your intention. I'm going to invite you now, after you've stated that, to intend that each breath you take brings you deeper and deeper into a state of rest and relaxation. With each breath you take, your body begins to soften. Your muscles relax. You feel your eyelids heavy, and bring the tongue to the roof of your mouth. while softening through your lips and your jaw. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And if it feels comfortable for you with your eyes closed, bring your gaze turning up toward your third eye. Now I'm going to hold the intention and the vision that each of you receiving this on this live meditation or on the replay, receive all the guidance, receive all the assistance and support, receive any upgrades or transformation from this process in the highest levels of love and light possible that are in alignment with your divine plans and divine selves. I call each of you into full and pristine alignment with your divine plans now, on all levels, on all dimensions, on all realms, and on all timelines. That this brings you into greater alignment and groundedness with what is and who you're being, how you're feeling during this time in history. Take a deep breath into that and breathe that out. Beautiful. So as you continue to breathe now, I'm going to invite you to notice where in your body you may be holding grief. So start to notice with pure observation, no judgment, no narrative, no story as to why your body may be holding grief where it is, but just start to scan slowly from head all the way down to your toes, where you might notice any sensations, where you might notice any tension or tightness, contraction, a buzzing, a pulsing, a holding. Just notice where there's any resistance. Just notice where it is in the body. And part of this process is we're going to give your body the opportunity to let go, if it's fully ready to, any part of the grieving process that you're holding on to right now. So as you're scanning your body, just noticing where grief is being held onto. If you don't notice anything at all, that's okay. It's perfect. The whole point of this is just to accept what is in this moment, to be with what is. So if you're feeling neutral, there's nothing there, that's okay. So as you're noticing the grief in the body, if you are, just name where you're locating it. Left knee, pinky toe and right foot, neck, heart. Just name it for the time being. And continue to breathe, breathing life force energy into those parts of your body. And we're going to ask your body and your mind where in this moment you are holding grief. What are you holding? What grief is being stored in your body right now? What are you grieving? Now you may see images, you may see words, you might feel a knowing or a felt sense of what that might be. If you don't have access to that, we're going to intend that that information will come to you in the perfect time. Please don't force this. What we're moving away from during this time is force and pressure, which is something that our old paradigm, our society has been built on. I'm going to push my way to the answer, to the result. Let's let go of that. What am I grieving? What are these parts of my body holding on to right now? And again, if you want to take yourself through the first 4 stages of grief, of denial, if this resonates, of course, through anger, through bargaining, through depression, you may notice any of those particular stages standing out if you're familiar with this. But you see, grief can show up in a variety of ways. So as you connect to what you're currently grieving, if you are a visual person and can connect through inner vision, inner sight, I'm going to have you visualize all of those things that you're grieving. And it could be a loss of a job. You could be grieving the world as we've known it. You could be grieving the events or goals or dreams that you had prepared that you had to let go of. You could be grieving the loss of a loved one. You could be grieving anything. Somebody being sick, you could be grieving the world and the pain. You could be grieving the civil liberties or freedoms that many of us are noticing or feeling have been taken away. Grieving a business or loss of money, a pet. Whatever it is, start to see it being laid out in front of you, one by one. Just see all those elements of what you're grieving in front of you. If you're feeling overwhelmed with any emotion, I'm going to invite you to just be with that. Breathe deeply into your body. You're finally giving yourself the full attention and space to notice and grieve. You're removing it from your mind, from your body now, and you're allowing it to sit in front of you, holding it. You're not changing it. You're not telling it to go away. You're not clearing it. You're just noticing and being with it. And if there are emotions, give permission to feel it fully, all the way through. No holding back. You are safe. You are loved. Allow yourself to go there. If you're not visual, perhaps simply identifying those pieces that you're grieving. Naming it, locating it. If you're somebody who feels, just noticing the layers of emotions that grief is bringing up and through for you to feel through. Good. Now, as you connect to each element of what you're grieving, Tap into where you're holding that in your body. So for example, if you're noticing what's laying out in front of you, you're grieving the world and your life, let's say, as you've known it, as it's been. Allow it to show you where it's being stored in your body. And if you can, bring your hands to that part of the body and begin to send it love. Tell this part of your body, I'm with you. I'm holding you. I'm loving you through this fully. I give you permission to grieve. I give you the space to reveal to me any messages, any guidance, anything that I need to know. Continue to breathe into that. If you can go a little deeper into the process, invite yourself into that now. And once you feel that you've received the guidance or the completion around that particular part of your body and what it is grieving, if there are other elements of grief and areas that you're grieving, move on to the next. Place your hands where that grief is being stored. Taking your time, feeling it through. Noticing if there's any avoidance or resistance. Noticing if your mind wants to engage. Continue to bring your focus back to that part of your body and to what it is grieving. Again, moving to the next part of your body. And there could be many layers of this. So if there are many pieces that you're grieving, you can always come back and do this process again. Now you have the opportunity to ask, what is grief trying to show me? What is it here to tell me? What does it need me to know? To take a moment to be with everything that we've been walking through in this process, and to allow the clarity of that answer to come through. And if it doesn't, that is okay. Everyone processes grief differently. Everyone moves through meditation processes uniquely and differently. This is not a one-size-fits-all. So staying present to what is, and just allowing yourself to be open and allowing to receive. Grief has a gift for you. There are nuggets of wisdom opportunities for growth and change. And through the slowing down of being one with grief, right now, it has the opportunity to speak to you as you acknowledge that it's there. It's sitting with you. It's the elephant in the room that follows you everywhere right now. And now you get to converse with your grief. Good. If you're distracted, come back to the breath. Now, thanking grief for its guidance and for all the ways it's showing up for you in your body and also in the thoughts that you're having, the ways in which you are grieving. And if it feels right for you, you're going to intend, you're going to imagine that you're slowly unhooking yourself from each thing you're grieving. Only if it feels right. If the process does not feel complete for you, allow yourself to be with that, even beyond this process that I'm taking you through. Again, there's no rush. I'm just taking you through the process so that you have the tools and the awareness of how to bring yourself through a process of grief, of processing grief, of being with it. So imagine if it feels complete, that you've gotten what you've needed from the guidance, from the emotions. Just start to slowly unhook yourself from each piece that you are corded, attached, and tethering, or tethered to. And as you begin to untether and detach, you start to allow yourself to surrender anything that you are attaching to, anything that you've been trying to control. Anything that is rooted in fear. Just detaching yourself with love. Unhooking yourself one by one. Again, if you need to come back to do this process, you can. No rush. If you're not complete with grieving, then that's okay. And you may be just clearing or moving through, I should say, a layer of the grief in this process. And there could be more. You're just being with what is showing up today. Beautiful. Now you see, we cannot accept the present as it is if we have not been with what we're feeling and experiencing fully. We can't move into acceptance. We cannot bypass it spiritually or emotionally. We cannot envision a future self or a future life if we haven't taken the time to grieve what is. So now, as you unhook from each item, I want you to visualize white light from source beginning to stream down into each body part where there's been grief stored. I want you to see white light moving into each area or thing that you're grieving and bathing it in this supernal white light. This high frequency, divine love. Maybe it starts to dissolve, or it shifts, or changes shape or sensation. Just being with what is happening in this moment, in this process, nice and slowly. Seeing the white light moving through you if you have access to that, or intending it. As you are processing the grief, it's going to begin to alleviate or be removed or dissolved in the body. So just allowing your body to take care of it. You don't need to do anything with that right now. Continuing to hold space for any emotions that are present for you. All of it is welcome here. There's no need to turn away anymore from it. We're in new territory now within ourselves and in life. And what is coming next in our new foundation within ourselves, the new identities that will be birthed, the new goals and dreams and visions of our future can only show up through acceptance and being present and being with all that is. Really nurturing yourself as you experience what's present. So on the other side of the grief that you have been letting go of, that you've been feeling, that you've been present with, how can you bring greater acceptance to each of these areas? How can you bring greater acceptance for yourself and for where you are? Not the version you were yesterday or 2 months ago or last year. Not the version you intended to become this year, but fully bringing acceptance to yourself in this moment, with everything that you have going on, with everything that is playing out, with everything that you are feeling and noticing and thinking about. How can you bring greater acceptance to all of those things and to yourself, and invite your spirit team, your spirit self to support you in this? Allow your body and your mind to support you in cultivating that answer as we begin to fortify your being with a new foundation of greater acceptance and compassion for yourself, for the world. This is not a time to blame others. This is not a time to blame yourself. This is not a time to create more separation and division. Right now, we have to accept where we're at, knowing that it is happening for a reason, and that there is a divine plan being orchestrated for you and for our planet. If you can remove any judgment or story that you might have, It'll take you to the baseline, the foundation of what's really going on inside of you right now. What if there is nothing to change or fix right in this moment? What if you didn't have to convince or inform or educate, or convince or persuade, anyone or yourself about what's happening? If you just got to be in a state of greater acceptance for self, for humanity, and this journey we're on, what would that look like? What would that feel like? And asking acceptance, what message or guidance or information it has for you. What is it here to show you and teach you right now? Don't force the answer to come. Allow it, whether it happens now or later. Now, bookmarking any guidance that you receive and thanking grief, thanking acceptance for being with you, for showing up, for teaching you. And you may need to do this again and again. It's not a one-time thing where this is it and it's done. I can move on now. Now, with all of the unknown and uncertainty in the world of our future, visioning your future may be different. And this is where there's greater acceptance around your life and your path moving forward. And it may be too difficult or challenging right now to envision your future self 5-10 years from now. And in fact, I would encourage you to not even do that right now. It may require you to connect to a future vision for the rest of this day, or this week, or this month. Maybe that's as far as you're able to go. So I'm going to invite you to bring into view now, or intend that your future self, whether it be a day from now, a week from now, 30 days from now, invite this version of you in. And I'm going to invite you to have a conversation with it, with yourself. What does your future vision in the next 30 days want you to know? What is the experience or gift that you can give yourself so that in a day or a week or 30 days from now, you get to embody the version of you that you're seeing in this moment? You don't need to go far out into your timeline. Being closer to where you are now may actually provide you with greater sense of ease, grounding, and faith in yourself, that it's easier to achieve or to become this version of yourself in the near future versus the far, because there are so many fluid and dynamic changes happening in the collective. So what does this version of you want you to know? What is it here to share with you? Who do you need to be to become this version? What type of action steps do you need to be doing, if any? What do you need to let go of, surrender, or put down in your life right now? Whether it be your thoughts or your beliefs, any projects or goals you're working on that are not in alignment with this version of yourself. What do you need to be doing more of? Listening and allowing, receiving, opening to those answers. And you can continue to converse with this version of yourself. You can come back later. But I want you to thank this version of you. Even if it had nothing to say, you couldn't connect with this. Intention alone is enough. You can intend during your sleep and resting hours that any guidance or messages from this part of you be implanted or come to you subconsciously while you're resting or sleeping tonight, the coming days. Just being in gratitude, feeling the love of all of your spirit teams surrounding you, of your body surrounding you, and having gratitude for yourself, maybe even placing your hands on your heart and thanking yourself for going there. Grief can be a very scary place to go into, to dive into. And the fact that you're here, that you've showed up, that you've allowed yourself to be in this process with me and with our virtual community, really acknowledge and hold yourself in gratitude for doing that, for doing this, for going there. And one last time, start to just flood your whole body with that white light. Flood your energy field, which is 18 inches or an arm's length out of your body. For some of you, maybe expand it out even further. Just flow that beautiful energy of white light through your whole being, through all of your chakras and your meridians, through all your organs and tissues and cells, through your whole nervous system, right into the back here of the portal, the gateway to all of the cosmic realms. And I'm going to invite you now to unplug yourself from the collective. This is an important tool I teach all of my clients, especially right now. You need to give a rest and a break from being immersed in the collective energy, because you may also be grieving and holding energy for the world. And you have permission to put that down, to unplug from the collective, from the news, from social media. In fact, I urge you to do this and have a detox regularly, maybe even a few days a week. Gift yourself with unplugging from the collective. So I'm going to invite you into a statement that you can declare out loud or silently. I now unplug myself from the collective consciousness. I invite any and all cords, any and all attachments, anything that's tethering to me or me to it, any person, place, situation, thing, or experience, or memory that is tethering me to the collective and to any other being on this planet or situation, I ask it to be fully and completely removed now. Unplug me from the collective consciousness now. Thank you. So be it. So it is. Anchor, lock, and seal. I am. We are. And now, as a final statement before we come out, I would like to empower you to get an alignment to your divine plans, which is your unique reason for being here. And the more that you can recite this and you can say this to yourself daily, you're going to come more and more into alignment with your divine plan and your divine self. And you will feel more supported and grounded in your life moving forward. So you can repeat this out loud after me in your space. I'll do it slow enough. Calling my entire mind, body, being, energy, reality, and all aspects of my life into one pure, pristine alignment with my divine plan now. Divine plan aligned, I am. Divine plan aligned, I am. Last one, really feel it coming from the center of your body, of your being. Divine plan aligned, I am. Thank you. So be it. So it is. Anchor, lock, and seal, I am. You invite your guides, invite your team to fill you up with greater trust, faith, and support so that you can powerfully move forward on your journey. And knowing that if you need to grieve in the coming hours, days, weeks, months, years, that doesn't mean you're regressing. It doesn't mean that you are not moving forward. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you or that you need to be fixed. It's part of your expansion of your emotional intelligence and awareness and your capacity to love and hold and be with all parts of yourself. Give yourself permission to allow that to come through and come up. Allow this to create greater compassion and love for yourself and this world because we need it. And trust that your guidance, your soul, is supporting you every step of the way, even if right now, right in front of you, you can't see what's next. We have no control over any aspect of our life, and truly what this time is showing us is that we need to relinquish the control that we think we have over others, over our lives, over the world, and how everything is going to look and be like, and allow it to unfold. What is meant for you is going to show up and is going to be in your life. Allow yourself to be guided. Allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to be with what is. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. One more inhale and exhale out. I'll very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll out your ankles and your wrists. Give yourself the permission to open your eyes when you're ready, and give yourself a stretch if you need to stand out. If you need to roll your neck, roll your shoulders, shake your body out, do whatever you need to do. And now once you've come back, gentle, 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 give yourself some time to journal what you've received, what you've heard, to be in a space of stillness and silence. Please drink a lot of water. Sorry, my connection is a little poor there. I want to thank those of you who've been here. Thank you for joining. I'm seeing so many wonderful people who came in. I know that this was a longer than I had anticipated process, but again, like I said, I didn't want to rush us through this. So if you need to come back, please do that. Jessica Brown says, really beautiful. Thank you, Vanessa. You're welcome. Wow, so many wonderful people that have joined. It's so nice to see your names popping up onto my screen here. Again, come back to the beginning if you just joining, and you can do this entire process. Wow, hello guys. Trying to wave to all of you here who've joined while we were in our process together. You may need extra sleep. You may feel really tired after this process. Again, this is just really inviting you into the opportunity to be with what is right now. You know, it can be a heavier process for sure, but you might also feel lighter. You might feel more energized now that you've brought full attention and space and awareness to this part of you. Tristan says, so very grateful. I have to hop off, but this is great. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Oh, so wonderful. Thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions, guys, please feel free to ask them, you know, about this process or about something you're going through. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes here. Amber says, thank you for this beautiful metabolizing experience. I'm so happy that you found this a beautiful metabolizing experience, Amber. Thanks for being here. Jeffrey, my love, thank you. Says it's powerful. Elisa says, thank you. I got it all. I needed that. So very grateful for your generosity and kindness and compassionate spirit. You are solid. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Yeah, you know, it's a difficult time, and we can't pretend to stick our heads in the sand. You know, it's not easy. We need to be there for each other right now. And you know, one of the things that I just really want to encourage you, you know, get support in whatever way that looks like. I'm not even necessarily saying it has to be with me. I'm saying, you know, get yourself supported, reach out, connect. If you need a therapist, get a therapist. If you need a coach, get a coach. I think this is the perfect time right now to really slow down and reset your whole system, and really look at aspects and parts of yourself that in times that are quote unquote normal, you don't have the ability to do that because you're running around, you know, in your life tending to all the things that needed to be tended to. So we can look at this from a real positive, you know, blessing on so many levels. And if you're not seeing it that way right now, that's okay too. You know, it's just, I'm encouraging you to get support for yourself. You know, we don't know how long some of us will be sheltering in place. Some countries and counties and cities and states and provinces, all of that are staying in longer than others. And it wears on our being. So please, please, please get the assistance and support that you need. Even if you feel like you don't need it, we could all use support in our lives. So I'm here for you. If there's anything you need, please feel free to comment more on this process. Direct message me if you need to speak with me personally. And I really am holding all of you in so much love right now, and healing and transformation. So thank you for blessing each of us with your presence and your energy. I know we can't see each other in this method, but we're all here together. You know, we're in this interwebs, the spiritual interwebs here as a community. So I bless you on your day. Thank you for sharing yourself here and for also trusting in me to lead you through this process. It's been wonderful, and if there's anything you need, feel free to reach out. All right, many love and blessings to all of you. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.